So today the beginner tips for Templars is going to look at a couple of basic tactical maneuvers for Templar squads. To demonstrate these, I'm going to play the Secrets of a Dark Age campaign, which focuses on one captain, 3 soldiers, and 2 scouts who descend into an ancient temple structure on the moon of Invidious. And I'll create my favorite captain here. And I'm going to play on difficulty to ensure that I'm really going to need all the tactics we're talking about. And I'll get started. Now, whenever you play a skirmish or a campaign in Templars, you should read through the combat briefing and look over the primary objectives, and often the map is the most important thing to take a look at. In this case, I'm covering some ground. I have to get to that extraction point on the eastern side of the map. And then I'm going to take a look at my squad control, and I can actually pull soldiers in and out of the combat if I want to reorganize. Now, I like the 3 soldiers captain combo that I've got going on, so I'm just going to get started. Okay, so once I've landed in the actual battle, I'm going to take a look at the map. I have a northern area where I can see a pretty heavy concentration of Xenos, and a southern area, and there's the exit I'm heading to. Now, since I'm trying to cross ground, I have some early time to get moving and moving quickly, so I'm going to be a little careless about getting my squad going forward. Not working too hard to keep them actually together right now in perfect formation, so much as just trying to get a little bit of distance into the level before the aliens start arriving in mass, because they will definitely be showing up in large quantity very quickly. So Templars is a tactical strategy game, and it really focuses a lot on kind of managing that crowd of enemies and holding on to your resources, which are your ammo, and getting to the objective before you run out of time. The limited number of bullets, the more and more Xenos I kill, the better, but I can run out of ammo and time and be simply stuck halfway through a level without the resources to complete it if I'm not careful. So that drives me to be pushing my Templar squad pretty hard right now and trying to get them going forward. Now, as you can see, this is the first tactic that I wanted to touch on in this tutorial. So you can see that here I am with my captain, a couple of squares away from Xenos. He's moving quickly. He's certainly going to reach me on his turn. So what I'm going to do is leave my captain with 2 CP points. So you can see the blue points up in the HUD here indicate that I'm going to leave those in the defensive for my defensive turn. So if a Xenos comes into range of my captain, I'll actually be able to use those command points to defend myself actively. So we'll see that momentarily. So I'm going to roll the turn here and wait as the aliens pour forward, and I'm going to get an opportunity to fight back. So half the defensive turn has gone by, so my captain is actually down to 1 command point, but that leaves me an option to be able to attack the Xeno. Now, my sword is out of range, so I'll switch to my Leviathan, light Leviathan, and take a shot. Unfortunately, I did not lay the Xeno out in a single shot, but I was able to at least get the process started here, which leaves me a little bit easier job hacking right through them. And then I'm just going to move on and try to cut down the second one, which has been successful. Now, if I was in the defensive, if I needed to be defensive here, here's another example of a tactic that's very strong within the Templar battle code. Here's a Templar, the soldier, who's 2 spaces behind the captain. Now, because of the phalanx capability, Templars are actually able to shoot through each other. So if there was a Xenos in front of the captain, this Templar could actually fire on that Xeno. Now, just to keep moving forward, I'm going to bring him forward as far forward as I can. Now, here's another Xeno, or another enemy at range, and I can actually step into range and got lucky there. And since we're trying to move quickly, can just advance. Now, I want to take a moment to show phalanx fire in all of its usefulness and glory here, and then we will kind of wrap up this tutorial. So here's an example, perfect example of this. Phalanx fire allows the Templar in the rear, the one behind the lead Templar. You can do this with actually multiple Templars, not just two. Can fire around the captain. The level of coordination in the Templar Brotherhood and the unique design of the battle suits allows for this capability, allowing the Templar in the rear to actually open fire on this Xeno, and is able to spend 2 of his AP to bring down the enemy, and which gives the captain the additional CP that are required to get around that corner and get that much farther into the level. Now that starts to spread my defensive soldiers around. If the one in the back is always using the CP, they can become separated, and a big thing in Templars is to keep your soldiers together and never leave a battle brother behind. Now I'm going to advance as quickly as I can again, and in this level I like to split my forces. I like to send one contingent up the northern side and one down the southern side. Captain being the stronger of the two, he always goes to the north, as he's more capable of dealing with hordes of Xenos with his sword. As you can see right there, he's proving it. Now I'd like to get a little bit farther, but again, I'm really going to be careful to keep my team as close so the captain will patiently wait for the defensive soldier to catch up. Now in this case, I've come around the corner and that Xenos will be closing on me very quickly, and I've got one defensive CP stored up in case he closes fast enough I might actually be able to open fire. And here's a case where the captain gets a defensive command point but doesn't have anything he can particularly do with it unless he wanted to advance and open fire, but I like the position I'm in, so I'm going to roll the turn. Okay, now here's, because I saved 2 defensive command points, this is another opportunity for the captain to defend himself before the enemy closes. So I switch over, I get a good shot in, I do a bit of damage, but in both cases the aliens have now closed and are in dangerous range. So hopefully, there we go, 2 swings of the blade, the null blade, and I'm able to clean up that Xeno. Now again, I'm trying to move carefully here, aware of all the angles that the aliens are going to be coming at, and in this case again you can see phalanx fire using the second Templar to attack, and hopefully clean him up, and which allows the front Templar to cover extra ground and claim more territory. Now the captain is out of CP here, and you can see I've started about halfway across the distance maybe, but the hard part's still to come, because now I'm going to have to be contending with multiple angles from which the enemies are pouring in, and it becomes even more challenging for a squad of 2 to fend off those different vectors, attack vectors. So especially for the captain, we're going to have to move very quickly across this chamber and get to the other half of the level. Again, I can't do anything about that incoming enemy, and now we need to get moving. So in this case I'm going to use 100% of my CP just to keep the squad barreling forward. There's no time particularly to waste. The Xeno will not be far behind me, and here, knowing that the enemy is coming down the hall, this lead Templar is actually, I think he will, in the case of wanting to get on and being able to protect the entrance, he's going to take a risky maneuver to let an enemy get between the 2 of us. Again, as I mentioned, it's risky, and you'll have to kind of play this level yourself to see